So when I decided to make a kind of autumn winter groups of perfumes, I kind of thought what I'd do is divide them into groups of kind of how I think about perfumes. So this first group is going to be light, really easy to wear daytime perfumes for people like me who quite often just want a nice smell that they can smell and that people can smell when you're really close to them, you know, but isn't really strong, really kind of office safe, you know, that kind of thing. Comforting, nice. They still have, to me, autumnal vibes for all kinds of reasons, which I will explain, obviously. But then probably not the kind of traditional autumnal perfumes you'll see in other YouTubers' videos. Then I'll do another one that's kind of the sweet and syrupy stuff that I like when it gets colder, or I like in the evenings, that I also find quite autumny, you know, wintry. And then I'll have one with the strong perfumes that I actually like and can wear, and that will probably be like, I think I'll do like a woody and a chocolatey one as well, you know. So I don't know if there's going to be 3 or 4 of these yet because I've got loads of perfumes, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm starting off with the kind of light perfumes for autumn winter that I really like, and some of these are quite new, some I've had for ages, since before I started my channel. So I'm going to start with a couple of Oriflame ones. These are super affordable. They're well under a tenner for 50ml EDT. They're not the longest lasting perfumes, but they're very light, very easy to wear. But because of the notes in the 2 that I'm going to talk about, first one being Chill Out, I find them very comforting and very cozy. So Chill Out, the notes in this are lavender, vanilla and cedar. That's all that's listed, and you can smell all those notes. So for me, it's kind of, on first spray, this is a unisex, on first spray I was a bit worried this was too masculine, but the more it dries down, the more you get that beautiful, lovely, soothing, comforting lavender scent. And you get a lot of the kind of vanilla, but it's not like a perfumey vanilla. It's just a very natural, lovely sweetness. It's kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if there was tonka bean in this as well, because it has that kind of yummy sweetness. It's like a much easier to wear kind of Twilight kind of smell, you know, like the Lush one. And it's so comforting. It smells delicious on me. It smells delicious on my husband. I really like this one for bed, but I also like it on like grey days, you know, when it feels a bit miserable, when I've worn this in the morning to perk myself up and I just feel cozy and yummy, and I really like it. So I love that one actually. And then the next one from the same range, also from the Feel Good range. This one is the Be Happy Feel Good perfume from Oriflame. Again, under a tenner. Notino is a good place to get these, and you can get 50ml eau de toilette, less than a tenner. Oh, this one actually drives me wild. I find this one very autumnal because it's blood orange and sandalwood are like big smells in this, but there's also a big dose of turmeric. So the notes in this one, top notes are blood orange, bergamot and blackcurrant, middle notes magnolia, turmeric and peony, base notes musk, sandalwood and vanilla. And it's super fresh, really strong in the blood orange. It's surprisingly strong in the turmeric, and it has a sandalwood in it that's slightly powdery, but because of that juicy blood orange, it's super fresh and light and easy to wear. And it honestly, Be Happy is correct in that it really is so cheerful, but it's also cozy because, you know, turmeric is like quite spicy, but it has that kind of earthy smell, and obviously sandalwood's got a lovely kind of warm woody smell to it. This is just lovely. Also unisex, but I would say this one leans a bit more feminine to my nose than the other one, but will smell delicious on everyone. I just really like those perfumes a lot. I actually like this whole range, but those are the 2 that I think are most autumnal to me. Then we have a classic that I've had for a really long time, and it's come back to the time of year when I can actually wear it because it's quite sweet for me. So this is Mont Blanc. This is Signature. People talk about this one all the time, so I don't need to go on about it. It's it's unusual because although it's, to me, it's got something about it that's very autumn wintry, almost Christmassy, kind of Halloweeny, just something lovely about it. It's very sweet in a cold way because it reminds me of vanilla ice cream, with a big old dose of clementine in it. A lot of people really like this. Some people don't like it. I think that's to do with the musk. So the musk in this works really well for me, and I think if it works well on you, it will be lovely. But top notes here: clementine, middle notes magnolia, ylang ylang and peony, base notes vanilla, white musk and benzoin. So the benzoin, it's surprising how much it doesn't warm this up, if you see what I mean. It's really sweet, it's quite vanilla-y, it's creamy, but it's got a coolness to it, which I think is why it's in what looks like a giant ice cube. And I love these bottles. That's probably what drew me to it in the first place, but I really do like the scent. So I'm really looking forward to getting this one out again. And this bottle I think was about £20. This is what is this? It's an eau de parfum. It's a 30ml. So yeah, you're looking at, I mean, Mont Blanc's a bit more expensive than a lot of my other perfumes if you get a bigger bottle, but I would never need like a massive bottle of this because I don't wear it all the time. But it's very, very nice indeed. I like it a lot. Then we have, okay, so I've got a couple of apple-y perfumes coming up here. The first one, I love this perfume. This is quite new to me, but I absolutely love it. So this is Lanvin, and this is Modern Princess. It's the original Modern Princess. Again, this is a 30ml. I think this is an eau de parfum, but they're very light, you know, and the same with Mont Blanc. It's quite light. They're all kind of a little bit skin scenty, very easy to wear. This Lanvin is perfect for like office stuff. To me, this is a sweet red apple, musk and freesia perfume, and you need to overspray it a little bit, this one, but you can smell it for quite a long time. It doesn't have lots of projection, but it's absolutely beautiful and light and soft and comfy to wear. So the notes in this one: top notes red apple, red currant, middle notes freesia and jasmine, base notes vanilla, orchid, white musk and white woods. And you can normally find a 30ml of these between like 15 and 20 quid, so also very, very affordable. Just absolutely delicious. I love that one. Then this is a bit of a weird one. This is quite an old one. I'm just going to have to... It's very light, this perfume. Yeah, okay. So, this is Joop, and it's called All About Eve. It's in a little apple-shaped bottle. You can see, it's really cute, because it is an apple perfume. Now this particular one, this is a 40ml, and again you can get these for about £20, and this is, I'm going to have to check here to see if this is an EDP. Oh, my eyes are failing me, I can't really see what it is. I have a feeling the Joop perfumes are EDPs, but it's very light, very, very light indeed. It is, however, it smells to me like an autumnal apple candle. Now I know that a lot of people don't want to smell like a candle, totally understandable. It has a sweetness to it, and a hint of cinnamon, and there's something about the flowers in it that give it like a waxy feel, and it's almost like the wax of the apple, you know, the waxy skin of the apple. So this is, it's not easy to wear all year round. I find that this one, even though it's light, there's something about it that I think is just very autumnal. So the top notes in this are apple and floral notes, middle notes are cinnamon and jasmine, base notes are vanilla and vetiver. And it really reminds me of a Yankee candle I used to have that I absolutely loved. I think it's called Beeswax, and it was something, it was like an orchard, so it was an apple smell. And this one is very much like that. But it's a very kind of, it's like a tart, crisp green apple that's blended with quite a lot of vanilla. So it's not sharp, but you can tell it's a green apple. It doesn't smell like a red apple. This one very clearly smells like a red apple. This smells like a green apple with the skin, you know. And it's, yeah, so it depends what kind of thing you like. This is a cute perfume to me because it is a fragrance of something that I really loved. But I think some people would find it a bit cloying and a bit difficult to wear. But if your dream is to smell like a delicious autumnal apple candle, then this is the one to go for. So that's Joop, All About Eve. I'm gonna have to start making a bit more space. Okay, so I have all three Stash perfumes by Sarah Jessica Parker. This particular one, this is the Privé. So this is SJP Stash Privé. And these are Eau de Parfums. This is the 30ml. This, genuinely, at the moment, you can get these for under £7 in the UK. They are technically discontinued, but this one's still quite easy to get hold of. And it's the lightest of them. It's kind of the least woody. It's the easiest to wear, but I think it's still quite a good autumnal perfume. There's something slightly powdery about it. There's something slightly like herbal. So the top notes here are quince, grapefruit and pink pepper, and you do get all of those. Middle notes are sage and Tunisian orange blossom. Base notes are birch, musk and Haitian vetiver. So the birch, you do get, it's a very gentle kind of woodiness in this compared to the other stashes, you know. And you can sense the sage. It's nice and sweet, but it also has that kind of sharp tartness mixed in from the grapefruit and the quince. It's not horrifically peppery. It's not massively floral, but it's just a touch from that orange blossom. But it's like, it's a fresh, herbal, yummy, slightly powdery skin scent. It's very pretty. I like all of the stashes. In fact, I love the stash perfumes, but this is the lightest one and the easiest to wear in a way. If you don't like, it's very pretty. If you don't like really strong perfumes, then Privé is definitely an absolute bargain. It's really, really pretty, and it gets more pretty on your skin, like once you've sprayed it on. It's much nicer on skin than it is on card, and I find that with all of the stash perfumes, or in fact all Sarah Jessica Parker perfumes. On the card, not so much. On the skin at first, when it dries down, heaven. So let's stick with something powdery. I'm just gonna, Nivea. The Nivea, I think this is what is it? Eau de Toilette. This is a 30ml. I think you can only get them in 30ml. As you can see, it's got quite a cute little bottle. It smells like Nivea, but more powdery. So this has a lovely, slightly sweet, lovely floral, powdery, body creamy type smell. And I find it super comforting. And I imagine anyone who's ever used Nivea, the blue Nivea Crème, I think is how you would say it, or Nivea Cream, but it's spelled creme. I think anyone who's ever used that would find this incredibly comforting and like joyous, as I do. So the notes in this are top notes of lavender, bergamot and mandarin orange, middle notes of freesia, lily of the valley, ylang ylang, rose, base notes of powdery notes and sandalwood. So I can definitely smell a bit of lavender, freesia and rose. I can definitely pull those out. I can smell a little bit of the citrusiness. That just keeps it bright. It's very powdery, obviously, and I can get a little bit of sandalwood, but it's just very pretty. Again, like, don't be fooled into buying this off sellers who are selling it for loads of money, because you can get it directly from the Nivea website, and they often have deals. So I think I paid about £12 for mine, but they're normally about 20. And you know, they're an odd little beast, but I really like them, and I think they're infinitely wearable for people who just want to smell really nice and clean and fresh. And don't want to smell obviously like they're wearing loads of perfume, because you do smell like you've just got some lovely body cream on, you know, or maybe some lovely kind of baby powder type body cream. And speaking of baby powder, I couldn't do this without adding in one of my absolute favourites. Oh, absolutely love it. This is my small bottle. I have got a big bottle, but I've got so much to put on here. I was trying to keep it a little bit small. Demita baby powder. Truly, as of this date, I've smelt maybe 15, and I've had at least 10 myself. I bought at least 10 Library of Fragrance. Used to be called Demita, but they've changed. I've bought at least 10 of these this house's perfumes, and I've smelt at least 15, and this is the only one that I like. It is truly the only one that I actually like. I've got rid of all the rest of them. This is, I think this is it's a cologne spray, but it's actually the strongest I've ever smelt. Well, no, that's not true. I smelt one that I hated that was Christmas in New York, I think it's called, and that one choked me out. But this is actually very strong. It smells exactly like baby powder, but stronger, slightly sweeter, but it really smells exactly like baby powder. And once I start wearing this, I can't stop putting it on. I can't stop spraying it, because it's so comforting and yummy and sweet. And I love smelling like this, because I mean, I haven't really used a huge amount of actual Johnson's baby powder, or, you know, for a very long time, and I don't have massive memories of it from when I was young, but it's just such a beautiful perfume, this. I just think it's so nice. So the notes in this are just listed as powdery notes, musk and floral notes. And yeah, I mean, I think it's very sweet. I think it's super powdery. If you know what Johnson's baby powder smells like, think of a very intense version of that. That's basically what this is. So that's an absolute corker. I'll work out how to fit all these in. It's gonna start getting tricky. Okay, this is a big boy. I have got a little one, but I think they're about the same width, so I figured I might as well just put the tall one in. This right here is Stella Pop, an absolute corker of a perfume. Very, very delicious. So Stella Pop, I'm actually wearing this one today. Stella Pop is technically discontinued, as is this one, but also still really easy to get. You can also get the Stella Pop Bluebell really easily, very cheaply, but I don't really like that one. I find it a bit too sharp, whereas this one's nice and sweet and really girly. There's something really very kind of like reminiscent of childhood here. There's just something about it. People say it smells like Barbie dolls. I don't really remember Barbie dolls having smell, but there is something kind of slightly floral, bubblegummy about this. So the top notes are tomato leaf, green mandarin and violet leaf. Middle notes are tuberose, frangipani and violet. Base notes are musk, sandalwood and cedar. So for me, I get a bright greenness from the tomato leaf, and I love tomato leaf, so I'm very happy to have that in here. I get a bit of juiciness and kind of a little bit of a sharpness that you need because this is quite a sweet perfume from the mandarin. And then I get a lot of sweet violet, a bit of slightly creamy frangipani and some slightly bubblegummy tuberose and a bit of musk. But I don't find this massively woody. I don't find it particularly green, but there is a freshness about it, like a sort of watery fruit juice freshness mixed in with those very sweet floral notes. Just might as well put a bit more on. Yeah, it's just, there's something magical about this. It does have it's the more it dries down, the sweeter it gets, but it's not cloyingly sweet. Like this is way sweeter than this. But I find there's something about this one. There's something, even though it's light, there's something slightly powerful about it that stops me wearing it in hot weather. Whereas this is the perfect time of year to wear it, and I personally quite like this as an evening perfume because I find this very girly but also quite kind of sexy, this smell. So I don't necessarily normally wear it during the day, even though I am actually wearing it during the day today, but it's the weekend, so I was like, okay, I'll just wear it during the day. So Stella Pop, which is an absolute beauty. Ooh, where are we going now? Oh, this one's just a little one. So I actually have a bottle of this on the way, and people would have been talking about this loads, I imagine, whether or not they'd put it in the autumnal. So this is, I've got a little rollerball of Burberry Brit, and I got this one quite recently. And this is probably the only Burberry perfume I've smelt that I was like, oh, I actually actively want a bottle of that. I have blind bought one before, which I wasn't keen on, or at least I thought it was all right, but it gave me a headache. This one, on the other hand, I really like, so I've ordered a bottle of this. So this is Burberry Brit. This is the Eau de Parfum version, not the EDT, which I think is probably quite different. But I've heard that it's even more lime forward, so I might actually really like that because I love lime. So the top notes of this guy, Burberry Brit EDP, are almond, lime and pear. Middle notes are candied almond, sugar and peony. Base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, amber and mahogany. And it smells, it doesn't smell anywhere as sweet as I thought it would. It doesn't smell as woody as I thought it might because of the mahogany. And although I can definitely sense the almond, and the more it dries down, the more it gets that kind of slightly creamy, almondy, tonka beany smell with a little hint of vanilla. The pear and the lime are really, really juicy and a bit tangy and slightly tart in this. So it's so much easier to wear than most other almond perfumes I've come across or that I even own. It's got that, it's almost like a lime cordial in the top, like a literally watered down lime cordial. And I think the longer it's been on, the more that calms down. you get a bit of sweet pear, but it's a bit juicy, you know, so it stops the almond, to my nose, from becoming horrifically cloying, which I love almondy perfumes, but I find them very difficult to wear sometimes because they're so sweet, so cloying after a while, or they're just like the vanilla's massively strong, or you know, there's nothing to balance out how sweet the almond is. I have a couple that I really love, and you'll see ones with almond in my other autumn winter videos, but in terms of like a one that I think is relatively light, like this is not a beast at all. It lasted for quite a long time, but it lasted a bit like a skin scent, you know. It's I think it's light enough, in the same way that this one, I wouldn't necessarily wear it during summer months, but I think it's light enough to wear it kind of during the day to the office. I think this is a really pretty perfume, so I'm happy that I've got a bottle of that on the way. And I got the bottle for £20 from Notino, and it's like a 50ml, I think, of the EDP, so you can easily get the Burberry ones, most of them now, for under 30 quid, so they're really affordable. Oh, this is one of my absolute all-time favourites, so it's an easy one to put in. I will have to move things around though, because what I don't want to do is knock everything over. All right, so this is one of my all-time favourite perfumes. It's Vera Wang Embrace, Marigold and Gardenia. And this one, you can pretty much wear this all year round, but there's something about the smell of like marigold and there's a bit of kind of spice in this that I think makes it nice for autumn if you want a light perfume, you know. So the notes in this, top notes of melon and mango, middle notes of gardenia, marigold, orange blossom, base notes of cardamom, musk, sandalwood and cedar. And I think that if you just looked at this and heard marigold and gardenia, you'd be like, nah, okay, whatever. And I don't particularly like gardenia. I can be quite funny about it. I only like gardenia when it's soapy. I hate it when it's buttery. It freaks me out. This one, I think, is mainly melon and marigold with a little bit of spice from the cardamom and a nice kind of really creamy sandalwood. And it's got that creamy kind of slightly soapy, well, not really soapy, but like it's definitely not a buttery gardenia. I think it's just making it creamy. I wouldn't have been surprised if someone had told me there was like a slightly creamy note, or if there was some kind of vanilla, because it has a sweetness, but it's very light and it's just heavenly. Yeah, when I smell it now, I can wear this pretty much in all weather under like 35 degrees. I'm happy to wear it, but there's something definitely, because of that marigold in there, there's something that for some reason just makes me feel a bit autumnal. It's really beautiful. I absolutely love Vera Wang Embrace, Marigold and Gardenia. And if you're in the UK, you can get a bottle of this from Direct Cosmetics if you get a tester bottle. This is a tester bottle, so this isn't the original lid. It's just one that fits it. But you can get the tester bottles for like £6 for a 30ml. They're absolutely brilliant, because they're about 25 quid everywhere else I've seen them. So that's actually kind of works out kind of nice. See what I can... How much have I got left? Oh no, I've got so many still. All right. We're going to have to start moving things. This always happens to me. I've never got enough space for all the perfumes I'm putting in my list. That's why my list is so long. Okay, next one. So, if your desire is to smell clean, soapy, lovely, and not necessarily smell like you're wearing a perfume, if you want to kind of just smell lush, but you don't want everyone around you to be like, oh God, it's so strong or whatever, this is such a beautiful perfume. This is Noa by Cacharel, and again, at the moment, I keep seeing these. This is my small bottle. I've got a big one as well, but I keep seeing this perfume in the UK for like under £20 for 100ml, which is crazy. Like, it's such a bargain. And this, although it's quite kind of subtle and light, it lasts ages. Like, this is a very long lasting perfume, very long lasting. It's impressive, but that's because I think it's from either the early 2000s or the late 90s, and perfumes from back then, like, they're so different to modern ones. They just lasted forever. Like, you'd put them on in the morning, you would never need to reapply them, and Noa is like that. So Noa is a musk perfume, but It's an incredibly soapy musk, and I think of this one as my like slightly latte flavoured bar soap perfume. So top notes in this are white musk, peony, freesia, green notes, peach and plum. I told you, right? It's like a 90s perfume. It's got a million notes. So middle notes, lily, lily of the valley, green grass, jasmine, ylang ylang, rose. Base notes, coffee, vanilla, coriander, sandalwood, incense, tonka bean and cedar. So there's so much in it. But somehow it just smells like a beautiful, your skin but better, sweet, creamy, soapy, like not shampooey at all. There's none of that kind of sharp, nasty shampoo smell. It's fully like a bar soap. It's creamy. It's so beautiful, this perfume. It's really like slightly angelic, I would say. There's something ethereal about it, and it's really easy to wear. And it's another one of those that I think people might just think you smell delicious and won't necessarily instantly think you're wearing a perfume, but it's very easy to wear. Because it's so musky and because it's also quite sweet and slightly soapy, I don't wear it in really hot weather, but this is the time of year that I pull it out again and start wearing it again, and I'm very much looking forward to that because it's a really easy reach. If you don't know what else to wear, or if you're like, I think of it as quite a chic perfume as well, so like, you know, a nice cotton shirt, a nice pair of, you know, fitted trousers or whatever, some carrot pants, you know, quick spurt of this, it will last you all day. It's really beautiful. Absolutely love Noa by Cacharel. And the bottle, I mean, come on, absolutely gorgeous. So this one is rarer. I'm just going to keep that. Oh, my room. Oh, beautiful. Genuinely so beautiful. Okay, so this is definitely a rarer find, but I've seen it on Direct Cosmetics in the UK for about £8. Cost me more than that because I ended up having to get it from abroad, but nowadays you can actually get this. And this is Jovan Gold Musk for women. So you might know Jovan Musk. I have that one and I love it. It's a very musky, very sweet perfume that's strong, and it is from the 70s and it smells like it's from the 70s, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you know, some of the most famous perfumes in the world are from like the 40s, 20s, you know. This one to me is like a much more modern version of Jovan Musk. Excuse me, I've obviously put on so many perfumes I've been spraying around. It's still sweet, but it's not as sweet. It's still musky, but it's not as musky. Well, nearly. It's not quite as musky. It's an easier to wear musk, I think is what I'd say. But it's incredibly cozy and comforting. It's really beautiful, this perfume. I think it might be my favourite Jovan. Its top notes here are liquor, or liquor. Red currant, passion fruit, pink pepper. Middle notes are star anise, vanilla orchid, red rose. Base notes are musk and amber and sandalwood. And it's really, it has a richness from that liquor, but it's not cloying, because I think a lot of the sweetness is coming from partly that liquor, but also the vanilla orchid. So it's not actual vanilla. It has a very light, soft vanilla-y scent that is just so cozy, and I find this one to be one of my coziest. Like, it's like super, super nice for this time of year. You do not need to overspray this. It is a bit of a skin scent, but the thing with the Jovan Musk, the more you spray, the more you layer it up, the more of an absolute beast they are, and the musk will get very, very strong. So I think the reason I've put it in this one is because you just need a couple of sprays on the neck, you know, the wrists, and you don't really need anything more than that. Like, if you want to keep it light, if you go ham on this one, you are going to be very musky. There's just something about it, and you don't need to reapply it too often either. I would say if I wear this in the morning, I will maybe reapply it when I'm leaving work. I won't reapply it like during the day. I will just leave that. It will be fine. You know, if you get it on your clothes, it's beautiful in the top notes as well as like when it dries down. And I feel like this is like wrapping like a big kind of furry blanket around you. There's just something lovely about it, but it's that cozy feeling, but it's light, which I think is just magical. And then last but not least, we have my light amber perfume. So I like amber, but I struggle sometimes with how incredibly sweet they are or incredibly strong they are. Sometimes ambers are just so heavy and they weigh me down, and I can't really wear them unless it's exceptionally cold. This is an amber perfume that is very light, easy to wear. You could wear it to the office, you could wear it to work. It's nice in the evening in warmer weather, but it's really good in the daytime when it's cold. So this is Twilight from the lovely collection by Sarah Jessica Parker. Now, Sarah Jessica Parker perfumes, honestly, they just all, I think they're all kind of light, slightly skin scenty. Some of them don't last very long at all. Some of them last for quite a long time, but they're all light, even if they start smelling vintage, as this one does. When you first spray Twilight, it smells totally vintage. It smells a bit old-fashioned, and then as soon as it starts to dry down, it just becomes a super pretty, light, sweet amber perfume. So the notes in this one: top notes are pink pepper, galbanum, bergamot and mandarin orange. Middle notes are jasmine and peony. Base notes amber, incense, musk and sandalwood. And I get musk, I get sandalwood, I get a lot of amber. There's only like a hint of incense, and it's a very pretty kind of more of a joss sticky kind of smell, not like a really hardcore smoky smell. It's not massively peppery. There's a bit of the citruses kind of just lift it and keep it light and bright, but it's got a slight floralness, and again, like I've said before when I've worn it, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the florals were in this. I don't think they're massively recognisable as like being specific notes, but it's just a very pretty, easy to wear amber. And just to put anyone's mind at rest, this is an old bottle, yes, but I also have a rollerball and of the new version, and they pretty much smell exactly the same to my nose. I can't really tell much difference there. So yeah, so that is the last one in my list. So this is the kind of light, easy to wear, absolutely yummy, gorgeous perfumes for this time of year when it's starting to get chilly, if you don't want to wear beast mode perfumes, you know. So the next one, I'm not sure if I'm doing sweet and syrupy next, quite possibly, because I've got a lot of sweet and syrupy perfumes, and I do tend to wait till, you know, it's colder to wear them, because as my channel would suggest, I am a massive fusspot. I don't like to wear perfumes that are gonna, like, you know, choke me or overwhelm me. I don't like things that are ridiculously sweet if they're also really strong. So yeah, unless it's, I mean, it's got to be winter, you know, so I will have some of those in my winter one, but for autumn, winter, for this kind of time of year when it's getting cold but it's not like snow weather, absolutely love these perfumes. They're all so infinitely wearable, and generally speaking they're all very affordable. I think it's the most expensive one I've got here. I think the most expensive perfume here is 20 quid. Yeah, so probably like Stella Pop, Burberry, my Noa and Mont Blanc. They were about, and Joop, they were like 20 quid. Everything else was under 20 quid. So these are all, they're not even just affordable, they're budget perfumes, but they're exceptionally good, like really, really nice. So I hope this was helpful. I hope some people like me who are a bit fussy and don't like strong perfumes will find some things here to enjoy. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've got any of these and if you like them.